B-Rob, what's up? Good morning.
Good morning. How we doing?
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Did you stay up to watch the game last night? What is your Monday Night Football routine when you're off?
Usually I do stay up and watch the games. They come on pretty late, so I'll probably watch up until about halftime. Unless the game interests me on a higher level, then maybe I'll watch through the whole game. But I didn't get to watch the whole game last night. I watched a good half.
What do you watch? When you watch, what are you looking at? Are you watching the running backs? Are you watching like the O-line, or you just kind of following the ball like the rest of us?
So last night was a night where I had a chance to study because, the Cowboys are facing them this week. So
right.
I had a chance to just kind of see how they play, overall, as a defense, as a team, just all of their traits. And, I had, a great idea of how they play based off of how I seen them play last night, and I do watch the opposing running backs against the team I'm about to play against. So obviously I've seen Joe Mixon have a great night.
Right.
So,
yeah, be honest, B-Rob. You were getting a little bit giddy watching Joe Mixon.
He's not going to say that.
Carve up that defense. You were chuckling to yourself a little bit, knowing that you're going to face those guys on a short week.
Don't make him say that.
I was definitely enjoying it. I was definitely enjoying him do his thing. I've been a fan of Joe Mixon for years. Probably since he came out of college, and just to see him, constantly pushing for the running backs, in year 8 and 9, and still balling and doing his thing to that level, and just having a good night. It just looked good.
Yeah, the older set running backs are kind of having a renaissance. I mean, Derrick Henry, he scores every week. Alvin Kamara, like the amount of touches and utilization he gets in that offense is crazy. Like it's a good year to be an older running back in the league.
It's just a good year for running backs in general because, they try to paint this narrative above us, that, we can't play for years and 10 plus years when, obviously our best, most paved running backs in the league right now are in their, second and third contracts like Christian and Kamara and Henry, them guys like that just continue to push for us to just show that, we can play this game at a high level for, as many years as we, put the work in for.
Yeah, who would downplay running backs? Like, that's crazy, man. That's weird. I don't know any guys that would do that.
So, B-Rob, let's go back to the Philly game. You found the end zone, which was nice. You got back on the field. You found the end zone, but not a ton of success for the team running the football. What was the biggest challenges? As a fan, just watching the game, it seemed like Jalen Carter was a force.
Credit to him. He played well. I just feel like it was more so on our end of the ball. We could have just came out stronger. We was very bland. We didn't really attack them how I would have expected our group to attack, and we just didn't. And they play hard. They play physical, and and critical times in the game, they was just more physical than us. And that's when we got to step up to the plate and be the team that we aspire to be and, dominate those moments. And I feel like, once everybody look in the mirror and, look at the film and just realize, what's at stake in those critical situations, then we got to be better all around.
So it wasn't like a scheme thing that you're saying. It was just more like sort of maybe inner motivation, that kind of thing?
I'm never really going to ever get caught up into the schemes because that's not my MO.
Right.
Like it's my job to prepare, whatever is in the scheme or the game plan. And, as they call the plays, we going to execute the plays the best we can, no matter if we like the call or not. We got to trust that, our coach is going to put us in the best situations, and we just got to go and, try to make that play come to life, and I just feel like in critical situations in the game, we just didn't do that. And a lot of people took accountability, like, coaches stood up and took accountability for, decisions that they made in the game. Maybe they would like to have back. And us as players, we gotta just do our part. We gotta just make it come to life.
Mm-hmm. When you guys went through the film, was some of that stuff obvious? Like, could you see it or?
Oh yeah, definitely. Film was. I even told Coach in the position meeting yesterday. It was ugly to watch. because we much better than what we put out there in a game where we had an opportunity to just show the world that hey we are who we say we are, and the film was just very ugly to watch, and it didn't show like what we've been working towards, and I just feel like it's a perfect opportunity like for guys to look in the mirror and get back on track.
How much of that had to do with just different personnel, different guys in there? Because you guys have been banged up a little bit. Like the O-line.
That really has nothing to do with personnel. It's because, we had to prepare to play. When just like I get put back into the lineup, I'm not doing anything different than what I've been doing to prepare and to stay in the lineup or be, in the game plan. So nothing really changes around the personnel. We can insert guys in different positions everywhere. Everybody got to be prepared to play their role the same exact way. So that's never going to be, an excuse for personnel purposes,
Joined by Brian Robinson from the Commanders. He's brought to you by Main Street Bank. I love Austin Ekeler, what he brings to this team, the compliment he brings to your tough physical running style. Problem with Austin Ekeler for you personally, Brian, is he really caps your receiving output, man. I know you can catch the ball out of the backfield. I know you have that skill set. Do you ever go up to Cliff and be like, hey, man, throw me an extra ball or two instead of like going to Ekeler all the time? But you're a team guy. You're not going to do that. That's just me being selfish.
Yeah, like you said, like I feel like I'm just as skillful, with catching the ball and receiving as I am running out of the backfield. So, I'm always going to be for, receiving or catching the ball or catching more balls, but also knowing, that Austin, who he is. He's one of the most skillful receiving running backs to ever play. So, just respect to him and to respect to his game and knowing what he brings to our team, in our backfield as a receiver, I just let him, that's his lane, just let him have it, and if it's anything for me in the receiving game, which, Cliff still try to, get me involved in the passing game, I'll be all in for it. I'll be all in for it any way it is to get me more touches, but I also want to see my guy eat too.
Talking to Brian Robinson Jr., who's run for 524 yards, 7 touchdowns this season, did have a touchdown in that Eagles game. Of course, he missed some time, and we've had this debate on the show about what Dan Quinn said yesterday about Jaden Daniels. He said Jaden Daniels is not injured. All right. What's the difference between being injured and hurt from your perspective? Because no matter what the coach says, a lot of fans don't believe him, and they think that Jaden is playing hurt.
I mean, I'm not really sure the conversation he's having with the coaches or training staff. I know for the most part, I think he feels good. I really can't tell you what's really going on with him, if there is anything going on with him. But the coaches and the trainers, they know the truth. And the Coach Quinn told you, gave you an update on his status, then I will believe him. You know what I'm saying? Because,
I do. I actually do believe him, Brian. Here's what he said. And he said it's just like, especially like the last 10 days or so, and because of what they've been dealing with, they were kind of managing Jaden, that the timing was off. He wasn't necessarily getting all the reps that he was getting before, like before practice, after practice. You had the condensed week last week. And it was more of just almost like a reps thing. I buy that, actually. What was your schedule like let's say in the last week or so? Were you guys getting in full practice, full reps?
Yeah, I feel like I get what Coach is saying. We haven't been, kind of pushing the gas how we usually have, would, to just sharpen our skills, week in and week out. It's starting to kind of affect our gameplay when it comes to the weekend. Maybe we're not all the way physically prepared based off of how our week looked, So he just feels like we need to turn the gas on a little more during the week to just make sure that we're prepared, physically prepared for Sunday, and not just letting the weeks go by and not getting our work and sharpening our tools up every week to how we have known to do it, so that we can progress every week, and make strides in the right direction every week instead of, going down.
So, Brian, you said you watched some of the game last night. You played the Cowboys a couple times in your career. What do you see in their current defense? Obviously, they still have, even though they're struggling, they're 31st in the league against the run, by the way. They still have a star player like Micah Parsons on that line. What do you see?
I feel like they definitely have some stars, on their D that, they're going to lead them and, try to, definitely take off for them. But I don't really see anything different, just same caliber type of players, just in and out. There's really nothing about them that's going to change the way we do anything. We just got to prepare our best to go play our best ball, regardless of how they show up. Not having the best season, divisional game, it's going to be a lot of emotions, and we just got to handle our side of the sticks.
Have you noticed that teams have attacked you differently in the last 3 or 4 weeks?
I haven't really been on the field to kind of feel how teams play us, but based off the film, I do see just some changes and just how teams they feel like they have us figured out, so they try to prepare and run plays that they know can stop us, or they feel like will stop us. Or I see a lot of new stunts, like Philly ran a lot of stunts with their front, to try to disturb the run game, So, but now that I'm back on the field, I will get a better feeling of how teams really, try to attack us and play us.
It's time for the Pizza Bowlies question of the week. Pizza Bowlies offering wings, subs, and more. Pizza Bowlies delivers more taste. Download the Pizza Bowlies app for easy ordering. How tough is the late bye week for you and your Commanders teammates? Bye week in week 14 upcoming.
Did he hear you?
Brian? What did you say?
I'm sorry. How tough is it for you and the teammates having the late week 14 bye?
It's not tough, one thing I learned, like, it really don't matter how anything is thrown at you. It don't matter if you play, a Thursday night game, have to turn around and play Sunday. It really don't matter. Like, a part of being a pro is learning how to, adjust to, any situation or the circumstance, regardless. Short weeks, they suck, but they make the best out of good teams, if they go and we know how to handle things the right way. So, I feel like being able to get an more extended week going into this one will really help guys kind of get their minds back right and their bodies back right to just, finish these last two weeks before the bye.
We used to have John on for a couple of years, and he'd always talk about like he was big in like massages. He get several massages a week. He also said a big thing was a day after a game, I think he would go right away and he would lift to like get that lactic acid or whatever, out of his body. Do you have are you into any of that stuff too?
Yeah, I lift the day after the game, mostly. Like, I didn't lift the day after this week's game because I just had a couple of extra days to kind of let my body just rest. But I got back in the weight room yesterday, had a nice workout. I'm going to get another one in today. After this call, actually, and just gotta live in it. Gotta live in the building. Gotta live in the training room. Gotta live in the weight room. We play the way we play. Gotta get multiple massages, 3, 4, 5 massages per week.
Wow.
You really gotta, take care of your body. Being healthy, never take it for granted. You gotta stay feeling your best. That's gonna help your mind and help your body.
All right, B-Rob, we're pulling for you. Best of luck this weekend against Dallas, and we'll talk to you next week.
Expecting a big one. Thank you, buddy.
All right, thank y'all.